Even though some toys have the need of batteries to move on their own, others such as the ones on this list appear to be ghost-powered. Number 14. This 10-minute video indicates a toy ambulance randomly going off, despite the fact that it usually requests someone to hold down the red buttons on top in order to make any noise. What's strange is that it appears to respond to a child's voice. Although perhaps it's just me, it appears as if the ambulance was bidding the child to number to a certain number.
9, 10, 11, 12.
It seems to go off a few more times, mostly when the child speaks or is about to speak. Surprisingly, both of these clips appear to involve the number 12. Number 13. Even though Esmeralda Vega is filming her family that is opening gifts on Christmas, one toy in particular goes on interfering with what should be a blissful family moment.
That shit moved again, I'm throwing it across the
Perhaps someone is commanding this toy from another room, or perhaps its motion started off, but according to their surprised reactions, I don't believe that anyone is intentionally moving this toy. If there is something, the toy appears to change position its own when the camera person mentions it, almost as if it has its own mind. If anyone knows this toy, please tell me what it's called and whether or not it's remote controlled. Perhaps we can all work together to determine whether or not this video is genuine. Number 12. This grainy video, which is shot in a dim room just outside the kitchen, shows a children's toy unexpectedly gliding forward on its own. Even though the video's quality isn't great, it was shot in 2010 and appears to be about average for camera phones at the time. I'm not sure the reason why the camera was placed in that location in the first place. Perhaps they were having experience of magical activity in this area of the house and would like to document it for evidence. In any case, there's still enough light coming in from the kitchen to see if there's a string on the ground. Because I don't see anything, I believe there is a high ability that this video is genuine. Number 11. Michael Pomeroy has in possession a shop called Something Different in Plymouth, England, and in this shop, there is a tall Mickey Mouse doll that is quite unique. When Michael opened the door one day, he discovered Mickey Mouse face down, more than a foot away from its usual spot in the corner. When Michael looks at the camera, he is astonished to see the haunted Mickey Mouse toy move on its own. Even though I initially thought it was thrown by someone off camera, you can clearly see it taking a few running steps forward before collapsing here. Please tell me if you were able to see it. Apart from computer effects, I don't know how this could have been faked, but the way the doll changes position looks very real to me. Number 10. A reason why this gruesome child's bike was dropped down the roof. Even though this lullaby is only supposed to play for a minute, it's been playing for a half hour and counting.
5:30 in India here, and this is so freaking haunted. Nope. Help. No. Stop it.
The voice quickly shifts to a more sinister tone, and I believe that I can hear other voices coming out of it as well.
I'm running away. What the hell is that? Oh my god.
Number 9. It appears that Omar Vassell and his friend are having a weird problem in Target's toy section. Although I'll leave them to give an explanation of everything later, one of the toys appears to be a little too energetic.
What is that? This toy does not go off, and this toy does not go off, but the center toy goes off. So, my hand's over here, bow, toy goes off. Just watch. What is that? Like, please tell me what that is. America, please.
Even though perhaps the batteries in all of the toys except the one in the middle are dead, that still doesn't make clear the reason why it goes off when other toys are touched. I'm sure there's an obvious explanation for this video that I'm overlooking, so if you know these toys or know anything about toy manufacturing or design in general, please tell me how this could have happened. Number 8. This video, which is only 7 seconds long, puts us with more questions than answers. Two young women are recording a YouTube video with a great doll toy. Unless someone could not translate this section, it would not give us a better understanding of what the video was supposed to be about.
Bueno, aquí les presentamos a la muñeca de Bessie que se la regalaron a sus 15 años.
munching me now.
By contrast, the toy begins to change position on its own, staring at one of the girls. Off camera, a girl says to her to look at the toy, and when she does, she tosses it down in terror. Both of their reactions appear to be genuine, and if this isn't normal, I don't know what brought about it. Number 7. This toy appears to be owned by a spirit that wishes to mimic whatever its living counterpart does. Because the toddler is sitting on a toy truck here, the spirit makes up its mind to do the same.
All around that toy. There it goes again, there it goes again. Yep, there it goes again, there it goes again.
Orbs seem to skip all around the yellow toy truck's wheels when it slowly creeps forward, almost imperceptibly at times. At one point, a larger orb appears to find the outline of the truck itself in a zigzagging pattern, and it appears that the child notices something as well. Even though I'm fairly certain that this is a genuine magical encounter, I'm also avert to other reasonable explanations, so please let me know what you think is going on. Number 6. This video was taken at a rumored haunted house in Chiefland, Florida. Diane Frazier and her supernatural examination team invite the ghost of a child named David to play with a toy top in an attempt to summon him. I am sure that the tiny piece of plastic starts moving on its own.
Make sure that's zoomed in correctly.
It is. Yeah.
I want you to see this. You missed
Look
it.
at that. Good job.
Can you get that, Gabby?
I am getting, yes.
Yes, there he goes.
Whoa. All right.
Diane lastly develops stomach pains, and they discover that David was kicked by a horse centuries ago. Because I've never seen anything like this ghost equipment or software before, I'm not sure what the radar screen is used for. Should this be just an ordinary tablet with an app, there should be no way for the top to spin on its own. Number 5. Because Barry is convinced that a spirit is moving things around in his house, he places a random object in the middle of the floor. Because of being controlled of this cat toy, he places the controller next to the toy to demonstrate that he is not tampering with it in any way. Until nearly 4 minutes into the video, there is not anything happening.
Okay.
After that, nothing else happens for another 4 minutes until there is a second burst of movement. Barry believes he has enough evidence and stops recording when it moves on its own for the third time. I have only one explanation, is that 2 of these cat toys belong to Barry, and he was holding a second remote controller. Nevertheless, just by noticing the controller, you can tell that the large plastic buttons would most likely make a loud clicking noise when pressed, but I never see the button being pressed at all. While I believe this is likely real, perhaps Barry could record it again while being seen himself in a mirror so we can realize that he has nothing in his hands. Number 4. While a husband and wife are sitting in their living room, one of them realizes that the cat toy is moving on its own. When it occurs again a short time later, they grab the phone and begin filming what could be an animal spirit in action.
Oh my goodness.
It took me a long time to look up remote-controlled cat toys, but none of them resembled this one. This toy is undoubtedly small and soft, whereas remote-controlled pet toys are much larger and, in order to defend the receiver, are also made of plastic. Given that the married couple claims to have lost a cat years ago, I have no doubt that it is now going back to its best-loved toy, and to its best-loved holders. Number 3. This enigmatic video was captured during a tour of the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. When something darts by low to the ground, the tour guide is speaking about ghost-like guesses from other eras.
The frilly dresses, the little breeches shorts, the nice little blouses.
It is believed that this is one of the many alternative forms of toy rabbits that were popular in the 1800s and 1900s. And I think that it could be a speck of dust or even computer-generated effects. There is not anyone that says anything out loud, which is doubtful, but one of the girls looks down where the object was last moving and tracks it with her head perfectly. Perhaps everyone there just notices something out of the corner of their eye and didn't realize it until they watched the video later. Number 2. A mother films her child joyfully shaping Play-Doh into various shapes, absolutely does not know that the toy moves twice on its own. It seems that the first time is almost imperceptible, so keep an eye on it.
What are you doing?
On the other hand, the second time is much more conspicuous. And I mean that if you look again, and you'll notice that both of the kids' hands are totally off the toy when it immediately moves towards him. It looks like this video is one of the few circumstances where I have no evidence to refute it, and I can only come to the conclusion that what you've seen is almost certainly paranormal. Number 1. It seems that Michael is creating a seemingly innocuous YouTube video when something from another world appears directly at the back of him.
With fishing and the outside.
Instantly, Michael stands up to examine the toy set, and it is clear that no string was attached. A string would easily stand out against the gloomy wood of this table, and there is also a Coca-Cola can straight in the path of where a string would have to be. Actually, if you watch the video again, you'll notice that Michael moves directly in front of the toy, which would have completely obstructed a string. Even though it appears that the blocks themselves are relatively securely positioned at the bottom of a wire bend, they could have dropped on their own. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every day. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of my other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy.